Here we go, part two. I needed to recharge the battery of the phone. So as I was saying, the light coming into the dream, that's I believe from Freud. That partly coming from Freud, and so the light comes into the dream to wake us up. And at first we think it's part of the dream, but it's actually coming outside from outside of the dream. And so that is essentially, Jesus's role here, coming from outside of the dream to wake us up. And unless there was something like that came to do that, we might not be able to wake up by ourselves. So the thing about the Garden of Eden, so Jesus actually, now looking at the other version that is based on Helen's notes, apparently Jesus was talking about Mary Baker Eddy, who talked about this thing about Adam, God puts Adam into a deep sleep. After Adam, before Adam, the story of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and the serpent. He puts Adam into the deep sleep, and it does not say that, nowhere does it say that Adam woke up from the dream, which is a very interesting point. And when Adam listened to the lies of, quote unquote, lies of the serpent, all he heard was untruth. Now, I looked up where this lies of the serpent is elsewhere in Scripture. I couldn't find it. It might be somewhere in the New Testament. I'm not sure. But I don't think there's anywhere in Genesis that it says the lies of the serpent. And the other thing to bring up here is that Adam himself, the man, did not listen to the serpent. Adam listened to Eve, his wife, or his helpmate. He listened to her, and she listened to the snake or the serpent. But Adam can also refer to both of them. So when both of them listened to the lies. Now, the other thing to bring up here is that the serpent isn't always considered to be a deceiver and like a bad guy. There's many times in Scripture that the serpent is actually has wisdom and healing power. That's a whole nother discussion. But again, the other thing I want to bring up here is Jesus uses this phrase, the detour into fear, as synonymous with the separation. The separation is all about this detour into fear. And where does that phrase come from? Because he puts it in quotes, the detour into fear. That's something to look into as well. It's a great way of putting it. And it also puts the emphasis on fear, that the fear is really, if you want to wake up from the dream, you have to work through the fear, right? And that's the way to get back to your original state of non-separated state. Let's see what else to talk about here. Jesus reiterates the idea of there is no order of magnitude. Let's see. There's no order of difficulty, rather, in miracles. That's the first miracle principle, that the miracle can heal all expressions of lack of love equally. Doesn't matter how, because it's all a dream. So it doesn't matter how big or how small. It's all part of the illusion of separation. And if you say that this illusion is greater than this other illusion, you're making a mistake, because it's all part of the same dream. That's a very important, like one of the most important things in the Course, because we tend to, one thing that we tend to do is we exclude some people and some things from love. And we, certain things we don't have such a big problem with, forgiving and for letting go, and seeing certain things in the light, so to speak. And there are some things and some people that we are just like, no, never. They disgust us, and we have hatred, deep hatred, and deep animosity, antagonism towards those things. And the Course is saying it's all the same. It does, the classic might be Hitler. Hitler is not any different than stubbing your toe and feeling the pain of stubbing your toe. It's all part of the same egoic system, egoic thought system. And if you make Hitler worse, any worse or better than anything else, you're making a mistake. Now that does not mean, this is all in your mind, by the way. It does not mean that you don't do things in the world to correct whatever is happening. I'll give a personal example. Just recently, someone scammed me. Someone stole my Instagram account. It's partly my fault, so I take responsibility for that. But it's not like I'm going to do nothing to prevent that, or to stop that, or to get my account back, or to do what I need to do. Now I can still extend love and recognize this is part and parcel of the egoic system. That there's shit is happening all the time. People do shitty things. We all do shitty things to each other, and it's just part of the world we live in. I'm not going to let it upset me. If I do get upset, I'm going to just let that go, forgive myself for being upset, and not say, well, how terrible a student of the Course I am if I'm upset, but rather I'll step back from the anger and just say, okay, I feel anger. I feel like, I want to kill these people. I want to, how dare they steal my identity? It's identity theft. It's, I think in this world, it's a major crime. But in the ultimate scheme of things, this whole world is a case of mistaken identity, and identity theft in the cosmic sense of things. We all are walking around with mistaken identity. So in that sense, everything is already forgiven. But in the world, but we can't deny that we're here in this world, and that we don't want to be a doormat either. And there are things to do to correct or to bring, let's say, justice to certain things that are happening. And with the help of the Course, with the principles of the Course, you can do that more effectively, because you will not be so, you will not be coming from such an egoic place. You'll be able to more and more maintain your composure, and be maybe a little bit more, less biased and more impartial about things. And you can step outside of your egoic personality and step back and see things maybe a little bit more clearly, and see things from a higher, that place of love and acceptance. And remember that even when you think this is not right, I need to do something about this, on some level it is right. On a deeper level it is right. It's teaching you something. It's there to teach you something, and it's there to bring you to a greater peace, and ultimately to bring you back to God. And I think that's good enough for this section, this video. I hope it was helpful. If you like the video, please like it, and if you feel inspired to subscribe, please do. Tell a friend, perhaps. Please write a comment. I would love to hear your comments, and see you next time. Thank you.